Yeah. What's up, man? It's Coach Malachi Williams, man. We back. One more again, we back, man, for another episode. Midnight Conversations where expectations meet reality. This show here today, man, I want to talk about something that's real funny. This is a content creator who I've been following for a for some years now. Um, and to me, this sister is funny as hell. She's very, very funny to me. A lot of the brothers, quite a few brothers don't like her, understandably so. Sorry, I'm out doggone hair itching. Understandably so. Quite a few, people don't like her and stuff like that. But I wanted to talk about this particular subject matter because, I laugh about it all the time, right? And I told you guys, it seemed like for what I'm seeing going on online, there seems to be a rift. Shout out to my brother Kuba Curry. Shout out to Knockdown 305. Salute to you, fam. Old dirty boxing. What's going on, my brother? Shout out to Con Shonery. Um, and I don't know exactly where the rift came from. I've heard several different things, but there seems to be the battle of the sexes going on online, men against women. Especially black men and black women online, black women and black men online, right? So this is what it is. You have a group of women who didn't like Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. They hated him with a passion. They hated him so much they even celebrated when he passed away. Something that I would never do. But hey, some of these women felt that way, right? They, you would think that brother was Adolf Hitler, that he was killing people, and he wasn't, right? But then on the flip side, you have a group of men who who really don't like these type of, divested women online, the Cynthia G's and stuff like that. They really don't like women like that. Seem like that. I heard this one brother talking about, she's using white supremacist talking points, and you sitting around tearing down people who look just like you. And a lot of men feel that way. Not down 305. What to say, fam? He's something new to the YouTube world. Never heard of the sister. Yeah. Just look her up. She has depending on who you talk to, she's a liberator for a lot of black women. A lot of black women who we love her. They love her to death. Then you have some who, and I think what it is this. A lot of these women online that I've been seeing, Knockdown 305, they've had several experiences in their life, and they don't like. They had several experiences in their life, and so a lot of them, they don't like black men. They have children from black men, stuff like that. They just don't like them from their experiences, and that's what I see. Right? Um, um, they come up with a term. They come up with a term called Dusty. They call basically what's going on online. From what I've been seeing is a Dusty is someone that's broke. Pretty much a broke man. It's mostly from what I've seen, but online in those circles, they pretty much when they call someone a Dusty, they mostly talking about a black man, a broke black man, right? So I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know exactly what it was. You know what I mean? Because I used to hear them say it all the time, but I had to look it up. You know what I mean? And basically, says here in the Urban Dictionary that a Dusty is a broke player, right? Typically a male who has nothing to offer but sex, usually a user. This type of man will appear to be what society deems as successful, but targets the vulnerable and likes to exploit feminism and pick-me's, willing to go Dutch, 50-50, etc. So this is what Arlette talks about when she say, yeah, I don't want no man, you got to be 70-30 if you want to get with me. This is the mind frame where Arlette is coming from. She supports this type of sister who doesn't like, tear down a lot of black men. She supports that. So, but from what I've seen is talking about someone that's a Dusty. You know what I mean? Someone that, again, a pretty much a broke male. But from what I've been seeing in the circles, they pretty much target a lot of the, just target a lot of the black men with it, from what I've been seeing, right? But anybody can be a Dusty according to the definition. You know what I mean? So basically it says that the Dusty, he often looks good on paper, but if you pay close attention to their game, if you pay close attention, their game unravels quickly. If you're willing to accept they're nothing but trouble. Avoid at all costs. So they give an example. Yo, this dude is so dusty. He thought texting me for a week to send somebody a text message. He thought texting me for a week would compel me to fly out and see him on my dime and stay with him at his home. You know what I mean? Basically, what they're saying is someone that's a dusty is someone that's they're just broke, trifling, conniving. He's not bringing nothing to the table. He's looking for a woman that's going to take care of him. He's a user. He's always trying to get over. You know, in the boxing circle, I call those type of dudes two-figure niggas. Back then, we call them. Yeah, they moved on from scrub. Yeah. It's a scrub. It's just another way of saying a scrub. That's all it is. It's just another way of saying a scrub. And a lot of men, from what I've been seeing online, bro, like, it's gender wars. I don't know what's going on in any other communities, but I can tell you online, this is really going on, you know, in the black community and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, let me send this to her. I don't know if she said, cool, Buck her. What's going on, fam? So what it is this. And so I'm saying this, if you ever see a sister call you a dusty, you a dusty. This is what she's talking about. She's trying to say that you broke, you ain't got nothing, you trifling, you a user. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what she's saying. That's what she said. Shout out to Old Dirty Boxer. Old Dirty Boxer, what's going on, fam? And it's very, very funny to me, right? It's very, very fun to me because a lot of you guys, like you say, a lot of people don't even know who this sister is, but there's a lot of people who do. Me being a content creator, I kind of watch some of everybody. I don't know everybody online, of course, but I kind of watch a lot of them, from comedy to music to whatever, right? And I can tell you, in this circle, guys, this is for the men. In this circle, there's a lot of if you listen to it and don't understand what's going on, you be like, oh man, this is a black male bashing community. All they do is talk about, bro, like they talk about, we need to abort black babies. If they're men, boys, abort them. They're gonna grow up to be trifling, this and that. Their daddy's not going to be there, bro. It's like, woo! It's the stuff that I've been hearing. It's like it's really, really something else. I'm not making this up. But what I do hear, I hear a lot of pain from these women. I think a lot of these women been through a lot of pain, right? And because they've been through so much pain in their life from whatever men that they may have been involved with, that they're just taking a hard stance on just what it is, from their experiences. And that's what I've been seeing. The only people that I would see that would get offended about sister like Cynthia G, what she's saying, because she's not talking about all men. I don't know the sister. She's just talking about those who fit that category of a dusty. And that's what it is. Used to be a scrub back in the day. That's all it was. It was a scrub back in the day. Shout out to Ahmed. Ahmed, what's going on, fam? Old Dirty Boss, what'd you say, fam? You say entertainment in schools have influenced women for ages already. Yeah, pretty much. And pretty much. So basically, this sister here, she's a content creator. When it comes to content creators, she's one of the best in the game, to be honest with you. I don't know if she coined the term dusty. I don't know if she coined that term, but when people hear that, they think about her. I don't know if she coined that term. And basically, a lot of black men, the ones that's in that circle, they have questions about it because, these are the type of people normally, when you're in these black circles, you know what I mean? And these black women, YouTube channels and stuff like that. And there's an open war against, you have brothers feel some type of way. And this is the term that they use to call people in that category. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's a lot. I know in the boxing, I call a lot of those guys two-figure niggas. I know in boxing, I call them that. And the reason why I say that is because I'm like, dude, you niggas broke, ain't got no money. You doing too much. You sitting at home. You living with your mama, or you sitting at home with your girlfriend house, baby mama house, whatever. You ain't contributing nothing at all. You ain't got nothing. You taking too much energy arguing about multimillionaires, fighters who are multimillionaires who you don't even know. And the only common denominator that you have is, yeah, man, he from my same city. He from the same city as me. Okay, well, how come he didn't inspire you to do better in your life? How can you admire someone for the success that they're having in one breath while at the same time not being motivated by that person that you're admiring to try to do better in your life? So, that's what I call those guys over there. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of you brothers in here. I know, like you said, Knockdown 305. You never heard of it. You new to it. You new to it. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. So if you ever out in the street, and let's anybody in the chat single, you have female call you that out in the street. That's that term. That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from, right? If you don't fit that category, it's not for you. You will never get offended by that. That's my whole thing. I never get offended about anything that I hear, especially, if it doesn't pertain to me. If it doesn't pertain to me, I know this individual is not talking about me. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of men, but to me, it does seem like that there's like a gender war going on. Shout out to Deborah Booker. Deborah, salute to you, sis. Yeah, it seemed like that there's like a gender war going on. You know what I mean? Keep certain people divided. And I always talk about this. I always talk about, you really gotta stay away from people who operate on a low frequency. Shout out to Jason Williams, who operate on a low frequency. I call them low IQ people. But they operate on a low frequency. You have to stay away from those type of people, right? Because those type of people, sometimes they may have a tendency to rub off on you. And those type of people, they don't want anything in their lives. They don't want anything out of life, right? Their paradigm of life is very, very small, very narrow. And these type of people, they can't help you at all. They can't help you grow here because, like, when you want to succeed in life and advance in life, everything starts here with an idea. Everything starts here with an idea. So once you get the idea in your mind about what you want to do, how you want to do it, how you want to approach things, then you automatically know, hey, okay, what is the action plan that I need to take in order to get there? When it comes to being successful in anything you do, understand the process that it's going to take time to get there, right? And you can be broke right now today. And that's a beautiful part about being in this country, America. You can be broke today, or some of these women may say a dusty today or whatever, but you can be broke today and literally with the right plan and work ethic. Work ethic is the key. It's the most important thing. You can literally change your situation, almost overnight. When I say almost overnight, I'm not saying overnight like that, like the next day, but I'm saying once you change the mindset, there are certain things that you're going to put into action, from an action standpoint that you're going to do that's going to get you to the level that you want to be at. But you got to understand the process of hard work and duration, right? You got to understand that process. Shout out to Knockdown 305. What you say, Con Shonery? He said, what's causing this though? What's causing it? I don't know. I don't know the cause of it. I don't know the cause of it. I have no idea. I don't know the cause of it at all. I don't know why. I think if I was to take a guess, I just think that, I think it's a cultural thing. And I think there's a certain culture that has a culture of negativity, pretty much just negativity and destruction. And so I think that's probably what it is more so than anything, if I could put my hand on it, Shout out to Arlette. Arlette says Cynthia G speaks the truth. So if I could put my hand on it, that's what I think it is. You see what I'm saying? But it was very, very funny to me. It's very, very funny to me. And I tell you all the time, I say, back then, as you said, Knockdown 305, it was called Scrubs back then. Today, I don't know who coined that term, Dusty. I don't know who coined that term, but back then that was called the scrub back then. Hold on, guys. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I know you're on the line, but I want to get involved in this discussion because I follow this woman.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned that in the beginning of the show. So what I was Knockdown 305, he didn't know what a dusty was. Shout out to Bless 365, right? And so I looked up the definition and broke it down, and basically, because a lot of people, I had a couple of brothers who was like, yeah, man, this is a term that's made specifically for black men. And I'm like, no, I don't know who coined the term dusty. I don't know where it came from. I knew back in the day we had the word scrub. That's what the women TLC came with, scrubs. They made that song, but we were saying scrubs before they made the song. That's pretty much what a scrub was. I guess what a dusty is today. Um, so who do you know who coined that term, dusty?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I only been following Cynthia G. I want to say for like over a year.
Right.
So I don't know who coined it, but I agree with a lot of her talking points.
Right.
And Cynthia G is not the only woman that's on these types of channels,
Right.
but I don't agree with 100% of what she's saying. But obviously, what a lot of the stuff she's saying is the truth, or somewhat the truth, because she won't have so many followers.
Yeah. Yeah. I get exactly what you're saying. What I was explaining to the what I was explaining to the fellas is, the term dusty, which had a definition right here, pretty much a broke player, typically a male who has nothing to offer but sex. That's pretty much what it's saying. You know what I mean? What a dusty is. Um, I know I call them, I know in boxing I call them two-figure niggas, stuff like that. But I was telling them that, she's not talking about all men, all black men, because I was under the impression that it was just a term for, this is something that these black women that's in this Cynthia G circles, they came up for black men. But I didn't know, so I had to do my little research, and then I found out, oh, this is what a dusty is. So, if you're a man that doesn't fit that category, if you're a black man, typically that doesn't fit that category, then you shouldn't get offended by what she's saying. You get what I'm saying? So is that your interpretation of what a dusty is, or is your interpretation of dusty is all anybody that's a black man? What is your interpretation of it?
You have to realize that Cynthia G is she's referring to, like, as far as the YouTube Manosphere, when she talks about that. I don't think YouTube is it doesn't define all black men. But for the followers of the Manosphere that's on YouTube, yeah, that's the I think she tries to give an argument, a counteraction to what they say. So if you really listen to what the Manosphere says, they say a lot of misogynistic things.
Who?
The Manosphere.
The Manosphere. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't listened to the Manosphere. I haven't listened to it.
They say a lot of
Let me look it up.
They say a lot. They say a lot of misogynistic things towards black women, and they say if black women do not, if we don't, they try to, like, if we don't agree or if we don't come down to what the black men say, that they will threaten to go with the white woman. And
you mean like submit? If they don't submit, like be submissive to you.
And
who started the Manosphere? What is that? Is that a movement or something? Or
I don't know if it's a movement, but I hear like a lot of the, like, I hear a lot of the YouTubers, because I don't listen to their stuff and I don't support them. But to me, they try to downplay black women, and like they feel like, I think they try to say, like, like when Kevin Samuels used to say, "Oh well, black women shouldn't a black woman shouldn't accept this and that," and I think they try to lower our expectations down so we can so it won't make black men feel like they have to achieve that high.
Yeah.
Like to be mediocre. Because let's be honest, the black women in this country, they're doing a lot better than the black men. And I think their goal is to lower the black woman's self-esteem and self-worth.
When you say the black women in this country are doing a lot better than the black men, are you talking about a certain group of black men that fit a certain demographic, or
no, in general? When you go to most of the colleges and universities,
right,
most of the black students are mostly black females.
Yeah, but what you talking about students from a college standpoint, but what about the people who are out there actually entrepreneurs? There's a lot of people who are really
Even the
doing things that are not they
black
haven't even go to school.
female, black female.
Yeah. I gotta do some research on that. I definitely gotta do some research on that because I do know I can tell you from my city, and I've been in city Miami, Tampa, stuff like that. You see a lot of women, especially in the city I'm in now. A lot of women got their businesses. You know, they started like their nail salons and stuff like that. I think it has a lot to do with maybe a lot of the women and maybe some of the ones that are now. I would have to do the research to see because I just can't say all of the women are doing better than the men and stuff like that. The black women.
I mean, generally, yeah. I mean, in this country,
Mhm,
I mean, even when I was growing up, I'm in my 40s, in
mhm.
my later end of my 40s. And when I was growing up, like all of my classmates, their moms were making more money than their parents. I mean, than their fathers.
Mhm.
And like, um, in my professional setting where I work in the medical field.
Mhm.
Most of the people that I work with are black females.
Where are they from?
They're from this country. They're from Jamaica. They're from the islands. They're from this country. I'll be totally honest with you.
Mhm,
I don't see a lot of black American men in my where I work
mhm.
as far as, having high level positions.
Oh, you work in the medical field, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So yeah, you I don't think you have a lot of a lot of men. Um,
From what I'm seeing, a lot of the RNs,
mhm.
a lot of the techs, a lot of the nurses,
Mhm.
well, doctors, mostly are black women as far as like, between the black women and the black men, we're like dominating.
So your point of view is the black women are doing very well in America, and the black men are not doing well in America. That's your point of view.
I won't say there are black men that are doing their thing too,
Mhm.
but as if you're going to compare it, yeah, the black women are doing a lot better. I
Well,
don't know. I don't have a percentage, but I'm just telling you from what I've seen.
mhm. Okay, all right. So when you think of when the term dusty comes to your mind, what do you think of? I looked at the definition. I just looked up manosphere. I didn't even know there was a manosphere movement going on. I didn't know that about it until you just said something.
I'll tell you what it means. Like that conversation, like the tail end of the conversation we had last night.
Mhm.
If we didn't have to argue about paying 70%, I don't want to keep moving. But if we didn't have to argue about a woman paying 30% out of 70, out of 100, that's an issue to me
Okay.
because I feel like if you look like $100, if you used to paying, first of all, I'm not going. I don't really need a man. Every bill that I have, I can afford it.
Mhm.
But when I say 70-30, I feel like if I'm with a man and if we're living together, yeah,
Right.
that's his responsibility to pay 70%. And I feel like when black men are making a big, 70%, why can't it be 50? First of all, 70% and 50% is not that much big of a difference. And when men can like make a big deal out of that, that's kind of like, yo, that's like a dusty mentality. That's when you can't take your role as a man to pay 70%, and you still getting you still doing better with us because we still are paying, even though it may not be as much as 70%,
Mhm.
but we're still with us helping you. You still benefiting. We still help you pay the bills. We take care of your children. We do most of the as far as like the bills. We do the cleaning, the cooking. We do the homework with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about most of us, not all, because there are some men that are, doing it to 50-50. So I'm not gonna go and go that far. But we are doing most of the heavy lifting.
Okay, so if you're doing most of the
So
heavy
I
lift,
don't
if you're doing,
understand why 70-30 could be such a big deal. Like, really, if you count the 30% plus the everything else we're doing inside of the house, I think that's a pretty even trade. And I mean, I don't want to discuss my personal finance, but
mm-hmm.
with the partner I'm with, I still have to pay my car bill. I still have to pay for my daughter. That's not my, partner's. I still have to pay for her. Have to pay for her, like her extracurricular activities. I
Mm-hmm.
still pay to get my hair, nails, take care of,
Yeah, that's
I
your
still take
30%.
care of my
That's your
bills.
30%. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, I still take care of my bills. I'm not asking him to take care of my bills, but we're living in the house together. So yeah, I expect for him as far as I still have to pay the food bill, and you mentioned eat. I still got to pay for the food bill. That's a lot. I mean, 70% is not like saying my 70% is like $1,500 a month in my household.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even including my bills that I have to pay on my own that doesn't have anything to do with the household. So I still have a job.
So do you feel the need? So do you feel like the need to even have a man around? Because like you say, if a man is going to trip about not paying 70%, you don't even need a man. You can just handle it on your own then, right?
Well, because I make it in a way that even if he wasn't around, I could still be able to afford my expenses.
So,
I mean, he's an option, but he's not something to rely on. Like,
mm-hmm.
and that's what I advise all women. They should still get their education, get their trade, take care of themselves, so you don't really need a man. But if he does come around, he has to do his part.
Yeah, like normal when I hear these conversations, it's like I don't know. It's
I
like
mean,
it's like
you
it's
have
like it's like
daughter. I mean, wouldn't you want her spouse? You have daughters. Wouldn't you
yeah
want their spouse or their partner?
yeah.
I mean, do you
No,
want them to do 50-50?
no, I'm
That's
not.
crazy.
I'm not talking about 50-50. I'm not even talking about 50-50. I'm not talking about the money and stuff like that. What I'm talking about is it seems like, okay, how do you view, okay, this is a question I want to ask. How do you view men? Like, how do you view a man? Like, what's your perception of a man? What is he there for? What is his purpose in your life, or if not in your life? Because it seemed like he's an accessory. That's the way it's coming off to me. Well, he's an accessory. Yeah, if he's going to be around, he got to pay
No,
70%. But that's how it's coming off to
no.
me.
Okay, I'll be honest. Men are companionship.
Mm.
They're like a companionship, but I feel like the need for them is not 100%. I don't think a woman can need a man, because there's a lot of women in relationships.
Mm.
They're in miserable relationships, and a lot, they're in miserable relationships, but they have the man around just to say that they have a man. I'd rather be single and be alone than be in a miserable, relationship with anybody. That's just me personally.
Right.
But I'm not gonna have a man stick around and I'm miserable just because he's paying a bill for me. Believe me, my mental sanity comes before any bill. He can go. I don't need him to pay my bills just to keep him around, and I'm miserable. So just because I said 70-30, yeah, that's 70-30 if we're living together. But if he's getting home, if it's too much, he can leave.
Yeah,
I don't need him.
I noticed you keep talking about the 70-30. I'm not really even, I get that. You want a man who's going to pay 70% of the bills. That's no problem. I understand all of that. But it seems to me that for you, it's like he's just an accessory. Like, oh my, this man I got, it's just like a watch. I really don't care too much about him. I really don't need him, but if he's here, he's going to have to. He's going to have to do this, and if not, he can move on. So my point is, why even be involved if that's the way you feel? If that's the way you view men, why even get involved with one in the first place? Just do you, be by yourself, and just do you. You know what I mean?
Good question, but I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I mean, I may sound heartless, but I have love. I mean, the man I'm with, I am very much in love with, and
Why?
but he's not my everything. Oh, he's funny, he's smart, he's good in bed, he's romantic. He has a lot. He makes money. I'll be honest. He makes more money than I do, but that's not the primary reason why. But that does help. But he has a lot of good qualities other than what's in his wallet. And believe me, if someone that has just makes as much money as I am and has those same qualities, that wouldn't bother me. I mean, he doesn't have to make a lot. He just has to make more money than me.
So hey, now Con Shonery made a point right here. He said that one theory could be that certain black women who have been hurt in their relationships have formed groups and are projecting their own brand of disgruntled journalism. I tend to agree with that. What do you think about that?
Well, Cynthia G is disgruntled.
Yeah. That's when I listen to the Cynthia G's, the Nylas. I think I heard the Nylas and stuff like that. I check the temperature. I listen to a lot of content of it, and I've been following Cynthia G's before she even went down this path. She didn't used to be like this. What she's on now, she needs to be like this. But it seemed like it's a bunch of disgruntled women. They don't been through some things, a baby daddy or 2 or 3. Probably so a lot of them probably was in the conscious community, and they went through all of that with the conscious community, how the men were over there. And it just seemed like, we just a bunch of bitter bitches. We're mad, we upset. Fuck these niggas. Well, let's form a group, form Voltron, and we on the attack. And that's what it seems like to me. Just on that, what it seems like to me. Now, I do know that when you call a man a dusty, black man a dusty or whatever, I know you're talking about someone who's broke, ain't bringing nothing to the table, ain't got nothing. I get that. I understand that. But it comes off like if you someone on the outside looking in, it comes off as, the hell with these men, we don't need them, yada, 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 yada. So I'm like, okay, if you don't need a man, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's why I'm asking you, like, why even be bothered with a man? You don't need him. He's just an accessory. He's just something that's convenience for you. Nigga, you here pay 70% of my bills. Fine. Other than that, but if you ever go down or, can't keep up with it no more, you out of here. We'll find somebody else to replace you. So my thing is, why even just go through all that? Just say, hey, I don't need these men. They ain't about nothing. All of them on the planet of Dusties. I'm just gonna be by myself, make my own money, pay all my own bills, and live life happily ever after. That's what I was asking. Like what,
I like Cynthia G. I really do. But she's coming from a place of hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not coming from a place of hurt right now, but she's coming from her experiences from black men because, as you know, Cynthia G platform wasn't always like this. Something in her life had to change in order for her to feel the way she does now. And that goes for all of them. I really think they're coming from a place of hurt. But that's not, I don't want you to think what she's saying, what her message is right. You should, as a black woman, you should put yourself first. As a woman in general, you should put yourself first.
When you say her message is right, what is she right about?
As far as I think that we should come first as far as how we need to. We're so busy protecting the black men and the black male image that we're forgetting about our own image. You don't see black men protecting our images.
Have you ever
I
protected a
mean, a
black
lot
man's
of
image?
them come on YouTube and call us manly and all kinds of stuff and call us all kinds of this and that.
Mm.
You don't hear any other race of men down in their women like how the black men on YouTube and some of these channels are down in, you know.
I haven't.
And I
I
feel
haven't.
like,
I haven't been on any other panels of different race of men, so I don't know.
general, I mean, not even TikTok, all these social medias, black men down black women and they praise up white women and other women.
Are you in?
The way how they,
Is that in certain circles? Because social media is a big
I'm
platform.
talking
And
about as far as social media, they do down black women a lot. They really do.
who is they?
I mean, as far as a lot of these channels, as far as even some of the, like, I've been on your channel for like I want to say like over a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen heard little split comments, you know, but I ignore it. But there is like a certain like stereotype that black women are not as feminine
Mm-hmm.
as other races of women, and a
Stereotype
lot
by
of
whom
other
though?
stuff
By whom?
by black men.
See. Okay, okay. This is what I have an issue with. When you say by black men, I think you should be. I think you should be clarified that because when you say black men, you just you talking about black men in general. There's a lot of black men in general, they're not in these Cynthia G circles or this Manosphere circle. I think I think what it is when you be a part of these certain Facebook groups or YouTube groups or Twitter groups, those groups represent a paradigm. It could be a paradigm of people who they've been through certain things in life. They're angry, they're bitter. So you even said yourself that, hey, Cynthia G, she probably been through some things
Same
and she
for the
does.
men.
Yeah,
You can say the same for the men. The
yeah,
men are angry
yeah,
and bitter.
yeah. I'm going there. I'm going there. I'm going there. You beat me to it. So basically, these group of people who have come together, if you identify with what Cynthia G is saying, then apparently, you identify with it because you might experience some of the same things that she probably have experienced, and that's why you identify with her message because it touched home to you from what you might have been through in your life. So I think that what it is a lot of these women who are part of these groups and a lot of these men who are part of the Manosphere group, both groups have been through something. And I think each group look at it like all these black women are like this, and the black women are saying all these black men are like that. No, I don't think. I don't think it's all the black women and all the black men are like that. I think the people who you may have socialized with, who you may have interacted with, that's that's who they are. And you look at that group that you've been a part of, and you say, hey, that means all of them are like that. You know what I mean? It just seemed like it's a generalization because you never specify, like which type of black men are you talking about? Because I know some very successful black men right now. I mean, they don't fit that definition. But I do know that you may not be talking about those type of people. But if you just say, yeah, black men, they're bashing us, they're doing this. I'm like, no, that's not everybody. I think you're talking about some people who have a certain mentality. They come from a certain culture. They may come from the hood. It could be, from what I'm seeing on social media, it's a whole bunch of hood dudes and females that's pretty much on social media that have that same mentality. These are the people who are attacking each other. The professionals, they not involved in this stuff that we're talking about. That's of your race and ethnicity. You know what I mean? I think we're talking about maybe two different classes is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say.
I mean, Coach, like I said from the beginning, I don't think all black men are like this. I think like if you watch YouTube and like some of these social media they do promote. Maybe it's a money making thing too, because if you feel like if you're a wrong black woman, you will put your monetary onto Cynthia G. If you're like a man that feel like you've been wronged by a black woman, you will support and put your monetary gains into like those Manosphere channels. But I don't like. I deal with a black man, so I'm not gonna totally bash him because the man that I'm with right now is black. And I have cousins, I have brothers, so you'll never hear me like say black men are losers and all that stuff. But black men do need to step their game up. Like, oh, I mean up. Because it's like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like right now we're lost as a community. And I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like the men should be the leaders in the community. And today, black men are not the leaders of the community. If they have a strong black men out there that can get us together or to like represent black men and black women and say, no, we need to do something, that would be good. And I will put my money, I'll put my 100% support behind that person. And in every community, it's the male is the leader, is supposed to be the leader of the community. But in this Black American community, no, I don't think the male are doing their job as being the leaders of the. Not even the leaders of the family. The moms are the leaders of the family.
Yeah, like you're talking about you're talking about the hoods. You're talking about you're talking about the inner city, pretty much where almost.
New York. So I can only speak from my experience here in New York.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You're speaking from your experience that's subjective to you. You probably been through some things in your life. You probably picked some wrong people, wrong men to be with, and you're speaking. Your worldview is what you have experienced, what you've been surrounded by. I'm telling you, there's a group of people who look just like me and you, who are very successful, who cannot relate to what you're talking about. But you don't know that because you don't know that because you're not in that paradigm. See, in your world, you believe that all black men are like this, right? From what you see.
No, I said that. No. I said that I know not all black men are like this, and I haven't dealt with all black men. I've probably been in a relationship, a serious relationship with 2 black men in my life, as far as romantic. So I can only speak for those 2 relationships. I haven't dealt with a lot of men, so I can't say that.
Right.
But I've listened to my family members, I listened to my friends, and I've seen what's going on.
Right.
And I'm only telling you what I've seen.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't say that all black men are like. I would never say that.
So are you talking about a specific group of black men who come from specific areas, like, hell, as a matter of fact, I was just looking at this video of some people from Nigeria. Like, Nigeria is probably one of the for every Nigerians who leave Nigeria and come to America. These are some of the most successful people in America. Period. Different culture, different mindset. They value education. They believe in family. They believe in starting businesses. They are very, very successful group of people. I'm not saying every last one of them, but they're black. And talking about men and women. They came over here and had nothing. I just got to watching a 45-minute video. Called.
That is right. They are Nigerians. They're not African Americans. Nigerians.
Okay. Oh, so now you're specifying the group that you're talking about. You wasn't you just said black men. Now you're specifying it. Okay.
Because to me, the Nigerians and a lot of people from the Caribbean, Nigeria, other cultures, they have a family first attitude.
Right.
Like they could be, they cheat on their women too, but at least they put their children first. The Black American men, they don't put their children first. A lot of them don't. All
right, so now you're specifying which group you're talking about. Now we get to the bottom. So you're saying Black American men. How do you feel about the Black American men? I don't want to put any words in your mouth.
Not all, but a lot of them. I mean, I don't want to. I mean, it's not really. Oh God, this is really sticky because it's like I don't want to offend anyone because I was reading some of the chat, and they're saying I'm generalizing. Like one, the one Mr. Ham and a couple of, and the other guys you just had up there, big blunts and boxing. But you know what? A lot of the Black American men, they don't want to take accountability on everything. They want to blame everything on the Black woman, on the white man, and everything. And believe me, Black women, we have a lot of stuff that we have to improve too. But I don't see a lot of the Black males taking any accountability on anything. Like even with these celebrities, I was having discussions about like every time when a Black celebrity men get accused of something, oh, he's innocent. Oh, they're just trying to drag his name. They think Kelly is like is innocent. They think Bill Cosby. I said Bill Cosby for a reason.
Right.
Is innocent. They think everybody's out to get them. They already have that mentality. It seems like they don't really take accountability in anything they do. It's like getting tired. Even with the boxing show, when you listen to some of these Lions Den, like a lot of them like to blame everybody. They don't take any accountability on anything. It's like, come on. And it's getting to be tiresome. I mean, the white man getting sick of hearing about them crying. And a lot of Black women are getting sick of these Black men crying. I mean, it's getting corny to the point. I mean, when are they just gonna grow up and be men? Like, they like one, and that's why I'm like really. That's where my frustration comes from Black men. It's like to me they're very protected. If you say anything bad about Black men, other Black women come after you too because how dare you? But I mean, come on. We have to sometimes if we want a group to change, we have to lay down the cards. Like, you're doing this wrong, you gotta make a change. We're not helping them if we keep on coddling them and making excuses for their behavior. And a lot of Black men make excuses for other Black men's behavior, and a lot of Black women too. They make excuses for Black men's Black men behavior. I'm not, and this is not saying all Black men are shitty. But a lot of Black men make other Black men look bad. They do. And unfortunately, that's how it is.
Old Dirty Boxing said that, but there are women that fall under that umbrella as well. Do you agree with that?
I say that. I just said that. But you know what? The men are supposed to be the leaders of the community. Right. They are. Like it or not, in any place in the world, the men are supposed to be the leaders of the community. So by you blaming women as well, making that excuse, that's corny. Okay, so isn't it your job to lead us? Or do you want us to be the men and lead you guys and coddle you guys? You can't have it both ways. You can't want to be the man, but then always you can't want to be the man, and then when we say things that you're doing wrong, Black women. What does you guys fuck up have anything to do with Black women? You want to blame it on everybody. Everybody just needs to look at themselves and stop trying to look at what Black woman is doing to ruin Black men. No, Black men have to help themselves and see what's wrong, and they have to hold each other accountable. No one holds anybody accountable these days. And I'm so sick of the victim blaming.
So what you're talking about is a victimhood mentality. You're talking about a victimhood mentality.
And I'm not feeling sorry for them. I'm not feeling sorry for Black men anymore because we want to feel sorry for them, but look what they're doing to what they're doing to us. Look what they're doing to the Black woman. Look what they're doing to each other with these gangs and everything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna blame that on who?
Yeah. So it goes back to what I was saying. specifically, you're talking about American black men. That's what you're specifically talking about.
Yeah,
We clarified
yeah.
that. So, in your opinion, from what you experienced in your life, the American black man doesn't accept responsibility for his own
Not
actions.
all.
Not all, but the group of people who you're talking. What percentage would you say? What percentage would you say in your opinion?
I don't know. I can't give you a percentage because,
Okay.
like I said, uh,
So you're
I
just gonna
want
go
to
by
say
the people who you grew up around, and the people who you heard about from your family members and stuff.
65, 35.
50, what'd you say? Oh,
65, 35.
65-35. And do you know that
Or maybe 60, 40.
and do you
Maybe that.
and so do you know that all of those men that you're talking about are black American men in particular? Because we don't have a way, a lot of times we don't have a way of knowing. You just can't look at a black guy and say, yeah, he's a black American. You know what I mean? I have friends that are Haitian. You'll never know they're Haitian if they don't tell you, because they don't speak with an accent or
Maybe,
anything. You get what I'm saying?
maybe I've been in New York too long, but
Yeah.
I can only speak for New York. I can't speak for what's going on in Florida. I can't speak for what's going on in Texas.
Yeah.
I can't see. I'm just seeing what I could see. And I've been in Florida before. I used to live in Florida for a few years. And I've been in other states.
Mm.
And I can just say, like, it's just sad that we've been in this country for so long, like 400 years, and every other minority that came in this country after us,
Mm.
they are already ahead of us. What does that say about us?
Yeah, exactly. No, I get exactly. No, I know. Listen, I get exactly what you're saying. I get your point.
People that come from different countries,
Yeah,
different
yeah, yeah. I
islands.
was just listening.
I'm talking for other black people. It don't even have to be. They're already like ahead of everybody that's been here for like ever.
Yeah,
what does that say about us?
No, you're talking about the black American. What she's specifically talking about, guys, is the black American male. The black American male, and it goes back to what I always talk about. It's a culture thing. It's a culture, and I told you guys before. I said, listen, man, right now we're in the culture of bad bitches and real niggas. Got a lot of bad bitches. That, we're going through a phase of the bad bitch and real nigga syndrome. And I don't think that it's just a black American male or female thing. I think once you come over here to America and you decide to be a part of the lower realm of society, we'll just say that, the lower realm of society, and you take on these thoughts of people who live in this culture, this environment, who think a certain way. They, a good example of who these type of people may be when they're younger, growing up. They may look up to, if you're a female, they may look up to Nicki Minaj. They may look up to Beyonce. They may look up to Megan Thee Stallion, right? If you're a guy, they may look up to. I'm talking about the younger guys, even the guys in the 30s. They may look up to Young Thug. They may look up to just all of the negative all of the negative stereotypes.
It's true. It comes from both sides. It comes because a lot of us sisters, we got to do better too.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Like I want to say in early June. I don't know if you're familiar with. I've been to an amusement park in Pennsylvania called Dorney Park.
Mm.
It's like, and I noticed it's like a water park / regular theme park. And when I had on people have on bathing suits, I've noticed in the last 2 years that a lot of us sisters, our behinds have gotten really, really round, but we still have skinny legs. I swear, I think half of these women, when we got that stimulus money, a lot of them did get that those surgeries to get their butt plump. And I know that's I'm not just talking crap. I know that because I work in the medical field, and a lot of the people that came into where I work, they had to get authorizations from the doctors to get that surgery done. That money could have went. I'm talking about those surgery costs like $10,000, $15,000. Some of these women have children. They have bills. That money could have went to furthering their education. It could have been for their children,
Mm.
but this is who they choose to put their money in. Just so what? Impress dusty dudes? I mean, I don't understand the point of that.
Mm.
It's like we both got to do better because believe me, if I had $15,000, if I had money access like to that,
Right.
it would have been to put it on my daughter's education, or to save it for a rainy day, or to buy a car, or to put down payment on a house. But this is where our priorities are. I mean, it's really, I don't know, man. It's terrible.
But see,
It's
all that.
terrible. If you give $15,000 for somebody in another country into a poorer country, believe me, they're not going to get no butt lift.
Yeah, I think that's dealing with a self-esteem issue. I think that, maybe certain things, a lot of women have gotten that, they gotten surgeries and stuff like that. It is what it is. And a lot of those women, and I understand that. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Maybe it was something that they didn't like about themselves and they wanted to get a surgery and stuff like that. I understand that. What I'm talking about is there's a culture in America. And I think
that's a part of the culture, though.
Yeah.
That's a part of the culture.
Yeah. The culture is being influenced by what entertainers are putting out there. I'm gonna, and not only that, but just the negative stereotypes that we cling on to. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. When I was growing up, I was a teenager. My favorite rap group was Public Enemy and NWA, right? NWA, Eazy-E, they started making a song called talk about women, yada yada yada, and bitch, sit down, this, that, yeah, gangster rap. Gangster rap ushered in, the beat sound good, but it ushered in a level of negativity that kind of like destroyed the Black American culture. It did it. If you think about it, like I'm like, what changed? And I can solely remember, and this was pushed by white corporations, Sony, Time Warner Music, Sony, Arista. But to make a long story short, it started with that, right? Luke right here in Florida, don't stop, pop that pussy. You know what I mean? Doodle Brown, all that shit there, had women doing all kind of stuff. You had a lot of women down here in Florida. They was willing to do it. They wanted to do it, right? So you got a degenerate culture of men and a degenerate culture of women. And these both of these degenerate cultures of men and women, they had children and they raised their children to be like them. Hey, girl, when you see that nigga, get your money. You know what I mean? Don't be playing with these niggas. Don't be fucking for nothing, girl. You know what I mean? You got a women teaching their daughters how to be bad bitches. So, so now you got a bad bitch over here. She's older now, my age and older. She's had children and she raised some more bad bitches, right? And then you got and then then I remember when Snoop Dogg and Dre came out, the Chronic album, they made a song called Bitches Ain't Shit But Hoes and Tricks. And so I think what happened was a lot of those people adopted that culture. I think it became the
Freak Stick too. And Freak Stick
too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What the 90s,
yeah. What I'm saying is what I'm saying is, so a lot of those women who are probably complaining, talking about Dusties right now, that's that age, they probably was the pop that coochie girl. They probably was the one leg up girl. They probably was, oh yeah, I want to get me a dope boy girl. He be laying it down. Oh, he be giving me money with this and that. So these women made a lot of bad choices when they was younger. Now that they're older and bitter, because of their experiences, now they form these groups. Well, these black men ain't shit. Yada yada. But basically they're talking about the Black American men, and that is true. There's an element.
Coach, I don't think they think that I don't think they. I think, to me, I think what they're trying to teach women is they have to don't settle for less. I don't think they're trying to say men aren't shit, but I think they want I think their expectations to be higher. They want Black women to raise the bar as far as their expectations. Because you have to admit, I mean, you say you grew up poor too. I didn't grow up poor, but I grew up working class. My father and my mother both worked. But I know people that men were moving to their girlfriends or their wives have, because they have Section 8 and they only have to pay $30-$40 a month in rent.
Mm.
There's like a lot of men that live off women, all because they're like eating up the woman's food stamps or whatever the reason is. And why should a woman accept a man like that? Because the culture is making this culture today, and even back in the day, they make black women like we're not shit unless if you have a man.
Yeah.
And I think black women, we will like get the lowest of the low just to say that we have a man. And I think Cynthia G is just basically saying, it's like, look, you don't need that. Why do you settle for this? You don't need that. You can settle for a lot higher. And there's nothing wrong with teaching women that you don't need a man eating off of you. Right. And I think I say 70-30 or whatever. When I say that stuff, I'm basically saying I'm not letting a man, and I never have let a man eat off of me. I never have. If you're not going to come to me correct, do not come to me at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take any guy, like, if we've been if you come to me correct, then of course, later on in the line, if we've been together for 10, 15, 20 years, and, if times goes hard, then of course I'm going to do my share. But if you come to me,
15, 20 years?
You come to me.
Damn. Huh? So he got, wait, so you say if you and him together for 15 to 20 years, then
20 years, and if he was doing his thing for that 15, 20 years, and if times go hard, or even 10 years, come on, you have to pull in your work. And if times go hard, of course, but I'm not going to let a man eat off of me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to if we're just starting a relationship, I'm not going to let you eat off of me just to say I got a man. I don't need a man. So what are you there for? If I'm paying my own bills, if I'm taking care of me, and if I'm taking care of my child, why are you in the picture for? I got to take care of another child. I have one child. I don't need another child. You have to come to me correct. I'm not going to have a man living off of me or living with me and pay 50-50. That's not going to work. Or if I'm living with a man and if this is his house, and if we're not married, and I'm paying 50-50, and then he can kick me out anytime, but I'm paying half of his mortgage, get out of here. No, it doesn't work like that.
All right. So you want somebody who's bringing something to the table. I want to stick to what we were talking about. He has to bring more. He has to bring his share to the table or more. See, this is
how it
is. This is where I agreed a lot with Kevin Samuels. I know you didn't like Kevin Samuels. I do like him a lot. I didn't agree with everything he said, but I liked him. I didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and I damn sure didn't celebrate when he died, because I know something happened to Cynthia G. Something happened to that sister, she get killed, or something happened. It's probably gonna be a whole lot of men that's gonna be celebrating that she's gone, right? So,
no, but Kevin Samuels was the worst thing that ever happened. He had black women feeling ashamed of themselves. He embarrassed black women. He had black women they had a woman on his show that was making 6 figures. And he actually dogged that woman because she wanted a man that wanted 6 figures too. He called her, you're less than average and you're all of that stuff, just because she wanted a man that wanted just as much as she does. She wasn't even asking for anybody to take care of her. She just wanted a mate to meet her halfway, and Samuels dogged her for
this what I got to say about that. That's his opinion. That's one. His opinion on what his criteria is. That's one. 2, you had women calling into his show asking him, asking for his advice and his opinion on certain things.
And those are dumb bitches.
So how can you get upset?
Because why the heck would you want an opinion? Why would you get an opinion from a man that had 2 failed marriages? He's not a dating coach.
Okay, but
His
whatever.
love life is not correct. So why would you ask him for an opinion? Where did he get his credentials from? From from a back of a cereal box? He
Why
don't have
would
no
you?
credentials.
Let me ask you a question. Kevin Samuels was one of the top high. Okay, let me tell you something that I know. You have 100 million content creators on the planet Earth. I know that. I know the data very well. Out of 100 million, only 3% of them are doing or have over 10,000 subscribers or more. I fall in that. I fall in that 10% on the other channel. On the 3%. Um, out of the top earners on YouTube, Kevin Samuels was in the top 50. He was one of the top earners on YouTube out of 100 million content creators. Whatever he was doing was working
So
for him.
what?
Well, hear me out.
It
Whatever
was
he was.
working for him, but I'm mad at black women for even asking this jerk his opinion.
Oh, so you don't.
First of
You
all,
didn't have a
how
problem.
low do your self-esteem? How low do your self-esteem have to be to call this idiot, to act, to rate them, and to tell them what they should do?
Right.
I mean, come on. Are you that low? Are you that is your self-esteem that low that you have to ask a guy like that advice and how to? Come on, this guy. I really think that guy was gay. To be honest with you, to be 100%, I think he was gay.
But what? Okay, but
But
you
we're not even gonna go there.
Yeah, you went there, but you upset with women. So really, you didn't have a problem with Kevin Samuels. You had a problem with the women who was asking Kevin Samuels for advice.
Yo, first of all, any woman if you're gonna support this man to down, look, I would like if I'm how dumb would I look if I call you, oh coach, can you rate me? I'm gonna put you on FaceTime right now, coach. Can you rate me? Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? And you give me why the hell would I care what you think of me? I should have more confidence in myself that I don't want to have any like random ass dude that don't have a degree, don't have any credentials judging me. If you want to get that high earning black man, then you get that high earning black man. Who the hell is Kevin Samuels? Because Kevin Samuels was competing with black women. He wants to be a black woman. He felt jealous of black women. I can see by the way how he was talking to some of these black women, and he was like competing with them. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you felt like he had this thing. So this what I say on that. This what I say. Kevin Samuels did not make anyone call him. Most of his supporters, a lot of his supporters were women. I don't know if you knew that. Literally, damn near from a male to the female ratio, a lot of his supporters were women. A good percentage, if not maybe 50-50. This man made crazy money doing what he's doing. These women called in and asked him. He didn't make them do anything. You see what I'm saying? So you, like you said, why would they call in and ask him this so he can degrade them? Okay, well, if they called into the show and they asked him questions of how he feels, and they sat down and listened to him, and he had a whole lot of female followers, then apparently there was something about his message that resonated with those women. It didn't resonate with you, but it resonated with them. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why you had so many women calling into his show.
Honestly, Coach, I've never tuned into an episode of Kevin Samuel. The only time I saw his content is when I was watching one of Cynthia G or Nyla Vaz or anything like that. But I would never give him views like that. I mean, look.
So why you if you never listened to his episodes, why are you upset? You don't know what he's talking about.
Because I've heard it from them. They played replays of some of his shows and some of his what he said and some of his talking points. And I was just so mad when some of these women would call into the show to ask this guy, yo, man, believe me, no man can tell me that I'm not shit. I'm a bad black bitch. And I'm not just saying that, but I'm a badass woman. Ain't nothing somebody like Kevin Samuels could give me advice. Man, I'm 5'2", I'm in shape. I'm a beautiful woman. And it's nothing that anybody can say that could make me feel like I need their advice as far as I mean, to me, he made you have to have a low self esteem to actually I mean, you have to have a low self esteem to lower yourself to that level that you would have to call into a show like that to ask this man for advice. I mean, come on.
So what I'm trying to figure out, what issue do you have with him though? Like, clearly you're not the type of woman
Well,
that
he's
that
making
will.
his money.
I'm not saying, but
He's making his money. So
you
I
know,
don't have an issue with him making his money. And I think it was a scam. So I don't have an issue with that. But as far as Black Woman calling his channel and he's giving these gusty ass dudes like the right to put down, like to look down on us, like, I mean, come on.
yeah,
A lot of these dudes that watch other channels,
I
they
didn't get
can't
that.
even.
I didn't get that listening to him that he was giving dusty dudes permission to put women down. I didn't get like you said yourself. You never listened to him. You said you only heard sound bites from different people's shows. So you're making you're making a decision based on sound bites that you heard from someone else's show. That's like me saying that I know what someone gave a speech. Martin Luther King gave a speech. I heard a sound bite of the speech. You know, all black boys and white girls can hold hands together, yada, 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 yada. That wasn't the entire speech. A lot of people don't know that in that speech, he talked about the debt that America owed, to the black Negro and stuff like that. But you only heard that soundbite and you thought that that was the entire speech. I say all that to say this. Sometimes we come to conclusions without listening to everything in its entirety. And because we identify with a certain group of women who speak to our experiences, we take on their opinions of how they feel about someone else. And I'm not saying
No,
that.
son. I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't listen to his show, and maybe it's wrong for me to judge. But point blank period, I'm not going to a black man that have failed, that have no credentials to get any type of relationship advice. I don't do that. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying me.
So if he had if he
person wouldn't do that.
if he had credentials, would it make a difference? You still wouldn't like his message, right?
But it's not even. He's only saying what the black woman can do better. The only thing black Kevin Samuels really taught black men is to how to wash their ass properly. That's the only thing that I've heard him say that's to teach black men. But for the black woman, he has all his vitriol and he has a lot of like harsh words for the black woman. But he's not really. How about the black men? What can they do to step their game up to compete with us? It's not all about one sided. If he's really trying to teach somebody, he should try to teach the black men since he's a man, right?
But you know what, Arlette,
Why is he trying to tell us how we should deal with the black men?
Arlette,
it's not up to him to teach.
You said you never listened to the man, so I don't even understand. You know so much about him, but you never listen to him. That's what's throwing me off. You know what he talks about. You know so much about him, but you never listen to the man. So how do you know? And so basically, you know what he's saying based on you was watching Cynthia G and these other women in these groups. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So right right now, from what I'm seeing, you're making a judgment based on someone that you never even listened to. That's what you're doing, and you're upset with the women.
Okay.
You're upset with the women, because they ain't had no business calling him and such and such, such and such. That man had over 1 million subscribers, and most of those subscribers were women. So I think the question, I think the question you got to ask yourself is, damn. And there's 100 million content creators on YouTube, and out of the 100 million content creators, he was in the top 50 of highest earners on YouTube. You know what I mean?
And that goes to show you that some black women are so desperate to get the black men's approval. I mean, and that's like, to me, that's what Cynthia G teaches also. Like, why a lot of black women are black male worshipers. and they want to get the black male approval on everything. And
That's their right.
I don't know why is that so important to a lot of black women. So
Why?
like,
But why are you
they
worried
don't.
about that though?
Why is that so important?
You
I
get
don't really care what black men think. It doesn't like. I mean, I live for myself. I don't live for what a black man thinks. I really don't care.
no,
The
no,
only
no.
person, the only. Okay,
No, what I'm
I'm
saying is,
sorry.
I'm talking about the women. You're saying that a lot of these women are, they trying to get black male approval and stuff like that. If that's what those women want to do, and why should you care? Like that's what they want to do. That's their life. They have a right to do that. Shouldn't you be focused on you and your situation, or I don't. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I have a good situation, so I'm not like me. I can't get angry because I'm not in a bad situation.
mm,
Was I in a bad situation in my life? Of course I have. Everybody's been hurt. A lot of people has, that has happened to everyone. But right now, I'm not. But I really do not like to see black women to like, they have to like. I want to me what I want from black women is to like not really try to like don't settle like to don't settle for anyone. They have to compete. They have to step up to your game. I feel like black women today, they don't know. We are like, to me, we are like the most beautiful. We're like the most powerful. We're like so smart. We have so much good stuff
which which which
going for us,
which
and we
black
don't
women
see
which
it.
black women are you talking about?
I'm talking about black women here in this country. We do have a lot of positive qualities, but it's like we're letting like, it's like
I'll
we have a lot of positive qualities. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
no, I'll let. There's some black women I know that you talking about these positive qualities. No, there's some black women I know. No, there's some thoughts. There's some hood rats. They drop their kids off at their mama house.
But that's
So
not no. But that's not all. That's like,
no.
come on, Coach.
No,
That's not pure.
no. Hear me out. Hear me out. You're saying I'm not saying all black women. But when I ask you something, it's like you're saying all black men. I'm not saying all black women. You specifically said that black women here in this country, we offer this. We're so smart. We're the most intelligent. We're the most this and that. And I'm like, that's not all black women. That's not all black women. All black women are not like that. I know some that's nothing like that. But you're generalizing, saying all black women are all black American women when that's clearly not the case. I know some that's nothing like that at all. The total opposite of what you're talking about. Literally. You see what I'm saying? I don't think it has. I think I always go back to it's a cultural mindset. It's a cultural mindset. If you got a group of when I was coming up, you had a group of women. They like dope boys. They lived the fast life. They was in all the clubs. They used to drop their kids off at their mama's house or whatever the case may be. They went to the bar on Monday
But
nights, Wednesday nights, Friday
yeah,
nights,
that's
and
true.
Saturday nights.
That's true.
So, are
But
you
you
talking
know
about
what?
those
It's
group of black
still
women?
listen. But it all starts from one. It all starts from somewhere. It starts from a black man not being in the home, a black man that not being fathers, black men that are being rolling stones. It starts with the black family, and to me, the male missing in the black family is what's ruining. It's what's ruining the black community in this country.
Mhm.
And that's what it starts off at. We can't make any excuses for that. It's a lot of lost children now, a lost adults because they didn't have the black men in their family. I mean, we have to we have to look at that too. And you can't blame the women for that. You have to blame the men.
Okay, so the women that I was talking about that that didn't take it, don't take care of their children, used to drop their kids off their mother's house. I knew women when I was coming up. I knew girls used to drop their kids off at their friend's house. I'll be back the next day. They gone 2-3 days.
So wait a minute, how come these women can't drop their kids off to fathers? where 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 were the fathers?
Yeah, some of the fathers were in jail. Some of the fathers,
Oh,
no,
okay, exactly,
hear me out.
exactly.
I'll let
Because they
you
were
not let me
doing it
finish.
on their own coast.
I'll let you not let me finish. Some of the fathers were in jail. Some of the fathers, the women didn't know who the father was because she was sleeping around with several different people, so she didn't know who the father was. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Like, see, this is the thing. This is the thing. For what you, if I'm understanding you correctly, I'm not talking about every black man and every black woman, black American. All black Americans, and I'm not saying you're saying that there are some black Americans I know that are some stand-up dudes who take good care of their families and stuff like that. The Dusties that we're talking about, that's a certain group of men that do not represent black men. They represent their particular culture of Dusties, their mindset, and the way they view life and the way they live their lives. You have a group of women that I can call Dusties that think like the men. They live that same type of lifestyle. They date high-risk men. They like being in the streets. They're for the streets. So you have a culture of people. They love, I like to call them the culture of, I like to use rappers. The Nicki Minaj, even though Nicki Minaj is married. Beyonce. They like to follow Beyonce, but Beyonce got a husband and children at home. So while someone like a Beyonce is selling independent women, be strong, you don't need a man for nothing, she has a man at home. Right? So the Megan Thee Stallions and stuff like that. I think that we have taken on the negative connotations that we came up with in our culture. The Luke era, like I said, I came up in that era. The Luke era, I saw how loose the men were, how loose the women were. Then the gangster rap came in. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, and the women. It was just a culture that ushered in this stuff. Now, those women who came up in that era, they're older now. They're my age. They are part of the Cynthia G groups. They are part of the Nyla groups. They are part of these different groups because they went through that phase. When I was coming up, we called it the whole phase. They went through that phase, the whole phase or whatever. And then now, these a group of women, they mad, they bitter, they don't like, because they chose, because they decided to be with a certain type of black men. And these black men that they chose to be with, there was no good men. They were no good men. So I think your worldview or those women worldview come from what they experience. They experience those things, and that's how they see things. They don't know nothing about the black American man that may be doing well and him and his wife is working together and vice versa. They don't know nothing about that. If you mention that to them, they won't believe it. That ain't true.
But can I say something, Coach?
Go ahead.
You know what? Like I said, if everything is so grand, like I told you before, why is it from other places in the world they come to this country and they're other minorities, other black folks from other places in the world, they come to this country and they're all already doing better than us.
I just told you.
If that has nothing to do with I know, but that has to do with the men and the women. But the reason why I'm placing most of the blame on the men is because the men are the leaders of the community. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I agree with that.
Who do you think?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I believe. Most of the blame has to be put on the men. And then when you say that, oh, you're a man hater. No, it's not a man hater, but I mean, come on.
I don't think
most of the blame when you. I mean, when you go to war, and most of it, like, it's two different countries. The general is going to be the representative of, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the black men have to take most of the responsibility. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
I get what you're saying.
You are taking a stand, but we can't, don't you think that the black man has been coddled enough already?
You know what, you're saying several different things, right? You're talking about black men being coddled. Black men ain't shit. Okay, well, not black men ain't shit. Black American men ain't shit. You know,
Well, I don't think
they
shit,
should be the
but
leaders. They should be the leaders in the community. I totally agree with that. The men should be the leaders in the community. The black men that comes from those areas should be the leaders in their community. I totally agree with that. I think what we having a misconnect is I'm talking about a certain culture that these type of men and women come out of is what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? There's a certain culture, a certain mindset that the reason why our paradigm, the reason why your paradigm is the way it is right now. You know, your worldview of things is based on your experience. It's based on what you see. You see what I'm saying? So if you've been in New York all your life, you've been in Harlem, and let's say you've never been to Queens, let's say you've never been to Brooklyn, let's say you've never been anywhere else, or let's say you've never been through certain parts of Harlem where people are doing very, very well. I'm not saying that's the norm, but you know, you went in, the only thing you know is what you seen, what you came up around. That's all you know. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not disagreeing with you. And you're talking about a certain culture that pretty much came up in the inner city. That's pretty much what you're saying. Because in the inner city, that's where a lot of the bad stuff is happening, the crimes, you know, the thug nigga. I remember we talk about the bad bitches and the real niggas. You got you got so many bad bitches and real niggas and not enough real men and real women, and that's the problem. That's the problem. You probably never even met a black man before. You probably met a real nigga. You probably came up with a bunch of real niggas all
no,
your life.
no, 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 that's not true.
No, I'm just
And
yeah.
to go back to what you're saying, like the reason why okay, we both need to do work, black men and black women.
Mm.
Like I said, we're far from perfect, but you black men have to step your game all the way up, all the way up. It's like it's gotten to the point now that I feel sorry for. I have you, you know, I have I have a young child.
Mm.
I feel sorry for her. I really do, and I mean,
So
it's getting like to me, it's getting worse. It's getting worse, and I think I don't know what community you live in Florida, but I mean, me living in New York and I see the way how things are going, and
mm.
it seems like it's getting really, it's nobody taking a stand. It's getting like, it's us against them. It's men against women.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no
yeah,
togetherness.
yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah,
not trying
yeah,
to build each other up.
yeah,
We're not trying to build each other up.
yeah.
I
No,
feel like
we're
the
not trying to build each other up
violence
because
against black women violence against black women are at an all time high.
yeah,
High. And black men are not doing anything. They're not telling black men. I've seen black men beat up females
yeah,
like in public, and not one man come around and say stop it. Like cut it out, bro.
yeah.
They will stand there and see the man beat up on the woman
Was that in
all
the
the
hood?
time.
Was that in the hood?
No, I'm talking about. I've seen that on the hood. See, Coach, you never been to New York.
No.
The hood in New York is not such thing as far. New York is hood. Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, every place is hood in New York. They got
Okay.
a hood everywhere.
Okay.
So New York is like a different type of city. I don't know how it is in other cities, but New York is just an urban city. People are all living
Okay.
together.
Okay.
So you see bad with good. But I like even on the train. One time I was like I want to say a year and a half ago, I was on the train with my daughter. This was during the pandemic, and we were all wearing like masks because we were supposed to be wearing masks on the subway. And they had a man that came next to us. This was at the height of the pandemic. He didn't have a mask on. It was a white gentleman, and he put a whole bunch of dirty garbage bags right near the seat next to us. And I moved my daughter. At the time, my daughter was like 8 years old, away from there. And this man got so upset. This other man, a black man, was saying, "How you guys, you bitches acting like you calling my little 8-year-old and me a bitch. Oh, you guys think y'all are so sedity." He sprayed some type of substance in our face. Just mind you, we were in a car, in a subway car, that they had a lot of black men No one's taught to even put the substance away from us. I mean, away from the man. They let him spray the spray in our faces. I had to get my daughter off the train because she has asthma, and we had to call the ambulance. No one on that train came to our aid. And mind you, I don't even know this black man from Adam. So they can't even say it was on some domestic violence type stuff.
Mm.
They don't care. They don't care. I've seen women get beat up, spit on, and men don't do anything. It's like us against them.
So you
It's
don't.
really bad. It's
So
like what happens to men these days?
so you
They
said.
don't
So you
they
said it was
don't
a
want
white
to give
guy.
up seats. They don't want to give up seats to old ladies. They don't want to open doors for women.
But
They don't want to do anything.
that's New York though. I've always heard New York was like that. Even growing up, I heard New Yorkers was like. I heard New Yorkers was like that though. Very rude, cruel type people. You know, I've always heard that ever since I was a child growing up about New Yorkers. You know, there's a lot of New Yorkers live here in Florida, so I've always heard that. I don't, you know what I mean? So basically, what you're saying, the white guy sprayed you and your daughter with a substance, and the black man on the subway train, they didn't do anything.
They're black men. Yeah, they don't do anything.
Okay, all right. You know, I don't. You know, again,
And then less 365. A lot of men aren't willing to die, and I don't blame them. Sis, I'm not saying that you should risk your life,
but
but come on now.
but if someone
It's things that you could do without saying. No, I'm getting kind of offended at some of these comments. I'm just reading, but it just goes to show you like the mentality of some of the people in the community.
Mm-hmm. The brother right here, the one Mr. Ham said make a point. Now I want to see what do you think about what he said right here. He says Cynthia G may be pushing that man versus woman divisive narrative as well. Do you feel like that there's a possibility that she could be pushing that? I'm a content creator. I do.
No, but
Go ahead.
look. To me, it's the job of the men to protect the woman. It's the job of the men to protect the woman in the community, and it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't happen. And I love Bless 365. That's my girl. But when she said something about it's not a lot of men don't want to die these days, but no, but they're willing to take their rage out on women. But when it comes to taking it out on another man, it's an issue.
Do you think Cynthia G is pushing the men versus women divisive narrative? Do you think she's doing that for maybe financial
No,
gain?
I don't think so.
You think she's doing it for?
No, I don't think so. I think she's
Do you feel
saying
like
basically
do
we
you
need to look out for ourselves first, that we have to come first because no one is looking out for us. And it's true. And I don't even, like I said, I don't agree with everything that she says, but I really do agree that no one is looking out for us.
mm,
No one puts black women. We're the most. I don't want to sound. We are not. We're not taken care of. The white man makes sure that they take care of their women. Every other culture makes sure they take care of their women. The black men in this country do not take care of their women at all. They don't.
all right, so you don't need the black man. He's
They
not taking
don't
care of you.
even
So
hold us to a level to marry us, or they want to make us baby mamas. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't hold us to a high level in this country. I mean, they don't.
so the black men,
And you can say the black men in this country.
the black men in this when you say black men, you saying black American men do not hold. I don't want to put words in my mouth. You're talking about black. When you say black men, you're talking about black American men, right? Arlette.
Yeah, most of them. I mean,
Okay.
not most. I'm some of them. I don't want to say most. I can't say because they are some good black men. And Lisa Bell says that something that's not always true. I'm not saying everything.
No,
Not
no.
all people in New York are bad, Lisa. But I'm saying I had some very bad experiences. I've seen very bad things in New York, and uh, um, it's like right now it's really rough. and it's a lot of crimes against women that's happening against women and children.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's true. I
where
see it a
are the
lot.
black males
I
to
see it a lot.
protect us? I mean, you can see it on the news too. I mean, I'm not just talking. And where are the males to protect us? Do you know what they're doing? I mean, we are too busy. The black men are too busy shooting at one another. That's what they're doing. They're not there to protect the home. They're not there to protect the women. And I know half the chat to disagree with me and say that's not true, Arlette.
So the black men. So the black men are too
not
busy.
I'm just saying around this city, yeah.
Around that city, okay, all right. So it goes back to what I was saying. So basically, what you're saying, New York is a hood, but pretty much all the New York is the city part is pretty much urban, right? So you live in an urban area. Urban areas.
I live in Manhattan.
Yeah, urban areas have a very high crime rate. The type of black men that you are referring to that live in these urban areas, they have these mindsets and mentalities. So that's all you see and that's all you know. That's all I'm saying. So that's your worldview because you know you live in an urban area. You know, pretty much New York, where you live at. That's all you see. And I think that's where your viewpoint comes from in that aspect. From what I'm seeing. I can tell you myself, when I grew up in those areas, I used to see the same thing growing up in those areas. When I left those areas and didn't live in those areas anymore, I didn't see those things. You see what I'm saying? Because the areas that I ended up living in, like I live in now, it's a different culture in this area that I'm in versus when I lived in urban areas. That was the urban area have an urban culture, and it's the urban area has the bad bitches and the real niggas, the G's, the gangsters, G's up, hoes down. When you saying that the black men are the only thing they're concerned with is shooting at each other, you're not talking about black men who are older, grown, 40s, 50s, something like that, who have their own businesses or taking care of their families. You're not talking about them. You're talking about a certain culture of black men. More than likely, they are a certain age. They probably teenagers, all the way from teenagers to maybe 30 or 35.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but a lot of the 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds, they're hanging outside. They're hanging at the liquor stores, right, at the check cashing places. Yeah. When I go to work in the morning, I see them, and then when I'm coming home to go back home, I see them. Right. They're never in their home. They're always hanging around, playing dominoes, dice, shooting dice, cards. I mean, come on. Yeah. It's like 97 degrees for the last 2-3 weeks, and you still see them outside. Aren't you in your nice air-conditioned apartment? I mean, come on. What are you doing outside? I literally saw someone. I went to the hairdresser. You know me, I love getting my hair done. On Saturday, somebody actually fell backwards and fainted right in front of me because of the sun. They didn't want to go inside. These people love staying in the street.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You're talking about a certain culture of people. That's what you're talking about, all that. You're not talking about all Black American men. You're talking about a certain culture of people who come up in a certain area and environment, have a certain mentality.
How much percentage of Black people? You keep on asking me percentage. How much percentage of Black people you think that actually live like this?
Live like what? You mean what you're
describing? In this country. Yeah, in this country.
I don't know. I would say a good number. I don't know. I will say this, in the urban communities. Huh?
So I'm not talking crazy.
No. You're not. No, I never said you was talking crazy. What I was saying was I'm trying to specify exactly. There's a certain group. I think you're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is everything you were explaining to me sounds like hood, ghetto, projects, urban areas. This is what goes on in these urban areas. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember when I was at Savior's Day one time in Chicago. We was doing security at the Cabrini Green projects in Chicago. This was in the 90s. And a lot of this stuff that you was talking about was going on. I saw it there, saw it in DC, saw it in LA, saw it in hell throughout Florida and different urban cities where I come from. There's a certain culture that certain people who live in these communities that they have, right? It's a culture of negativity, death, destruction, abuse, drug use, anything that you could think of that's bad, that's what goes on in these communities. What I'm saying is these communities do not define every black man. I'm not saying you said every black man. You're speaking specifically about a certain group of people who you see every day that live in these communities. That's what you're talking about. And I'm just saying, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying, but that doesn't represent all of us. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You're talking about a certain culture of people who live in certain areas. Now, not to say that certain people who live in those areas, all of them are like that. All of them are clearly not like that. But there's enough of the knuckleheads out there that's doing the drive-bys, that's killing pregnant women, that's killing children, that's doing all of that. Yeah, these dudes are savages. I totally agree with that. I'll be lying to you if I say that, oh man, that ain't true, man. They lying. See, this is what I disagree with a lot of the guys who when they I would say these fake pro-black guys who every time something goes on in our communities, we got to blame the white man. It's not our fault. Dude, you pulled the trigger. The white man made you pull the trigger and kill that 7-year-old girl? Oh man, where they created the circumstances, and they created the environment for which, we live in. And that's the reason why we doing that. Yeah, but you still got to take responsibility for your actions, what you did. You get what I'm saying?
That's true. And that's
what you're talking about. But what you're talking about is a certain culture of people who come up in these environments. This is all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but this doesn't represent black men. When you say, the only thing black men doing is they ain't standing up for us and they're not doing this and doing that. No, what I would say is the only thing certain black men are doing who are living in these areas and communities, they are not doing this. You get what I'm saying? Because those men don't represent the stand-up guys and who are out there really doing it. The stand-up guys don't get no attention, to be honest with you. Hey, when I was going to school, the guys, I knew the guys who was real smart in school, who was more than likely to be a good man for this female and all that stuff there, this woman, this teenage girl and this young woman, were the guys who they were making good grades in school. Education was very important to them. Those type of women, the bad bitches, they didn't want those men. They wanted the hood dude, the thugging dude, about that life dude, we about the streets dude. Those are the type of men that they wanted. So all I'm saying is, could it be possible that these group of women, I'm not talking about the crime and stuff that the men commit in the community. You're totally right about that. But could it be possible that these group of women who might have had an opportunity to maybe be with this guy, but he wasn't popping. He wasn't the guy that had all on the fresh clothes and he wasn't the dope boy and stuff like that. Could it be possible there's a group of women who are online right now who went through that phase and they kept attracting those type of men because that's who they wanted to be with. And then now they suffered the consequences of choosing these type of men, these men that are not no good, come from these areas that don't treat you good, don't treat you right. And then now they are bitter because what these men are doing, and it produced people like a Cynthia G. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But you know what? My girl Karma Serene. By the way, I love all the ladies. I love Bless. I love Karma. I love Lisa. I love all the women on this. You have like the women on this panel, your show and the Boxer show. These ladies are they're like shit. I mean, I gotta admit, they're funny and everything. But what Karma says is right. No one's picking any partner in high school.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. But go ahead.
No. But you're comparing. But you're saying that we overlook like the nice guys or the guys that are in, I mean, when we're young, we are immature, men and women. Mm-hmm. So it goes both ways. So I'm not excusing, like, me, I liked who I liked. I didn't care about bad boys. I never dated a guy that was in jail. or anything like that. I was never that type of girl. But boys and girls, the young men and women, they are at when they were young, they're immature, and we choose partners for wrong reasons. Same thing with men; they choose light-skinned women, and I mean, stupid crap like that that has nothing to do with like what makes a person to be a good individual. They choose partners for wrong reasons, so it goes both ways. But like I said, we're talking about now that we are adults. People do make mistakes. Some of these women could be bitter,
Right.
but some of these women, because like I said, I only had two. I only had two relationships with black men. I've dealt with other races of men before, so I'm gonna say that straight up. But with black men particularly, I'm with a black man right now. He's a good man, but I've seen things, and it doesn't hold. It's not really. Let's just say I don't blame. Let's just say black women need to open up their options outside of black men, and if you're looking for a partner, it's good to open up your options. Not to say that you shouldn't deal with black men anymore, but there's it should be other options out there for them to choose. Because believe me, black men are not looking for us. So we have to look out for ourselves. So, if you want to deal with black men, fine. But if you want, you should always open up your options.
Okay,
That's all.
so you said you've been with other races before. Why are you not with them now?
Yeah. Well, I'm with a black man now.
Why?
Because that's who I'm in love with. I don't choose people because of a race. I choose them because who I love.
Right. So when you was with these other nationalities of men, what happened? Why things didn't work out?
Age. Sometimes it could be, I mean, the same things didn't work out. It didn't have to be anything serious. There's no kind of like bad feelings or anything like that. But I'm just saying, I've had positive experience with several races. I had a good experience with black men. I had good experience with Spanish men, and to me, they're like about the same. But like I said, I really feel like people should just choose what's good for them. And I wish black men would stop. I'm sorry. I wish black women would just open up their options more. And like I said, I love a black man. I'm with a black man now. But if things don't work out between us, I'm not gonna say, oh, this and that. And I'm not gonna close black men out. I'm not gonna close black men out the picture, because there are a lot of good black men out there.
You think so? Oh, okay. All right.
I said black men. I said there's a lot of good, decent black men,
Okay.
meaning West Indians, meaning Americans, meaning from all different. I'm not just saying from this country. There are a lot of good black men out there, but like I said, you just have to choose. Just have to choose wisely, and don't choose choose don't choose on like whether he has a big penis or whether even he has a big wallet. You have to choose. You have to choose whether he has a good heart, whether how heavily he's into God, and how he makes you feel. He has to be a positive person in your life, and a man that if you see a positive person in your life, and if you deal with positive people, you're gonna want to do positive things. If you deal with a negative person that's always into shit, always into trouble, always a lot of confusion around them, those are the types of people that you want to stay away from. And that's what I just learned in life.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head.
But that 70% is always good though. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And like as far as like but as far as like even over the 70%, the guy has to be a good person, and he has to have good morals, and he has to be good to you.
This is what I say. This is what I say. If you're a black woman and you feel like black men ain't shit and you don't need to be around with them, then don't worry about black men. Go find another man.
And that's what I said.
And go
That's
find
what I
another
just
man.
said.
There's a group, there's a YouTube group that I found that have a very, very interesting take on that. So my thing is, if all of these black women who follow Cynthia G feel like, man, these black men ain't shit, and what I'm breaking down is, you're not talking about black men. You're talking about certain people. All of these women have one thing in common. More than likely, they're bitter. They've been through a lot of stuff in life because of the type of men they've been with in their lives. And now they're older now. And it looks like they're probably having, they're older now. They have children, and they're like, well, you know what? We need to go explore our options, find someone else, and be with someone outside of the race. Nothing wrong with that. You love who you love. I wish those women the best of luck. Just go find.
Wait, I'm sorry, coach. I'm sorry, babe. I'm so sorry.
What?
Cool Boy Curry, you are out of effing line. Read that comment. 70% you are overpricing yourself, Arlette. No, I am not overpricing myself. You need to fall the fuck back.
No.
I don't know who you think
he
you
said,
do not know me.
He said,
I'm out of place. I am not overpricing myself. Look,
70-30, 80-20.
A dude, no, he could spend 100% on me. He could, no. How the heck could you say I'm overpricing myself? Dude, you don't know me. Just because you broke and don't have nothing to offer, you don't have a pocket piston or a window to throw it out, you gonna tell me? Dude, you probably can't afford to buy a woman a cheeseburger. And you got the nerve to be fucking like that.
He said LOL at the end. I think he was joking, Arlette. I think he was joking. He said LOL. He said LOL. He said LOL at the end.
It's always the broken food that talk the most crap.
Oh, man. I tell you what. This is what I say. Don't worry about black men. Go find your white man, Hispanic man. Find whatever you want to find. Find your happiness there. And I think if black women feel like that's a solution, then go down that route. I go down that route at all, right? My whole thing is this. It's not black men that you're talking about, even though you are talking about black men. I'm talking about a certain group of men, black men who come from a particular culture, a certain culture, that have a certain mentality, a mindset. I'm pretty sure these men you're talking about, they don't listen to the men that I listen to. They don't know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is. They probably don't know who Warren Buffett is. They probably don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is. They probably don't know who John Henrik Clark is, or they probably don't know a lot of the other books that I read and a lot of successful men who look like me, Les Brown, that I read. They don't know who these guys are, but they probably know who Young Thug is. They probably know who Jay-Z is, stuff like that. So I'm talking about people who come from a certain type of culture, men and women. They have a certain mindset and mentality, and I think we're talking about the same thing. I think we're talking about the same thing. I'm not generalizing all black men, and I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that's what I think. I think it's very, very important to put it in the proper context. That's all I'm saying. Put it in the proper context.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
We should put it in the proper context. But even if do you ever rewatch your shows? Like, especially since you had this new show, if you ever see some of these comments, and I know somebody said, I read the comments. Of course I do read the comments. But a lot of these dudes here that come on your show, I'm not trying to insult. They're a bunch of real, oh my God. I bet you half of them don't even have no wrong females. Like, I mean, they really, one of these dudes here, I bet you if he would, some of these guys today, if you take them, if they take you out for dinner, they are already expecting to get sex. That's how, like what they are. They don't even believe in even courting a woman. And if they even take a woman out, they are expecting things from them already. And that's not what a real man does. I mean, if you really like a woman, and if you want to treat a woman if you want to treat a woman good, and if you really interested in a woman, of course you're gonna put your best, foot forward. You're gonna want to say, look, I can treat you to dinner, I can do this, and if you don't give me anything that night, that's fine. I'm okay. But the way how thirsty some of these dudes are acting, and even in the comment section, one of these dudes said, "Oh, if you have kids, you are not the A side." That is so disgusting. So a woman having kids make her like less. I have one side. I have a child, but I mean, I don't care if I had 10 kids or 5 kids, as long as a woman is taking care of her children, that's all that should matter. There's men out there that have 5 or 7 kids and they're not doing a damn thing to take care of their kids. And some of you men look at them as G's, but these women that are having kids and taking care of them and working two or 3 jobs and making sure their kids are taken care of, you guys are gonna down them. But these men that aren't doing anything for their children, you guys want to put them on a pedestal? Come on, get out of here.
I don't think nobody's putting.
And whoever said that if you have kids, you're not the A side. Man, I'm the A side, the B side, and the C side. I'm every side.
Now hold on. There are some women that say that they don't like being with a man if he have kids. If a man hold on, you even said it yourself. You said that if a man have
no, I'm not say that. Somebody made a comment about if a woman has a kid, that she's not the A side. I'm not saying, look, a man can deal, if a man has a choice whether he wants to deal with women with kids or not. I'm not telling him, man could deal with, that's his choice. I'm not saying that.
And vice versa.
But it's not fair that a man can clown a woman for having a child and having kids. And as long as the women are taking care of the children, I don't think men should clown women that do that. And they don't say anything to these men that have kids all over the place. They don't say anything about that.
How do you know?
Look, because how many times do you ever hear men? I hear men blaming women to be multiple baby moms or having a lot of kids. But I don't hear, like, as a woman, unfortunately, we have to bear responsibility because we have our kids. Men can choose to leave the situation if they want to. And I don't see a lot of men out there, they really don't see it like that. They just see, when they see a woman with kids, it's already it's not good. She's not. I mean, what's the problem?
I can answer that question. I can answer that question from a man's perspective. You got women that feel like if a man has kids, 2, 3 different baby mamas or whatever kids, she don't want to be with him. That's their right? And if a woman doesn't if a woman doesn't want to be with a man who has multiple kids, she has a right to feel that way. I have no right to tell her she's wrong. But just like if a man doesn't want to be with a woman because she have a child or 2 children or whatever the case may be, he has a right to feel that way. You guys are not there. You guys are not compatible with each other. Dang, I forgot what I was going to say. What you was talking about? I was talking about a certain culture. I'm still talking about that because it seems like you're talking about a men who have a certain mentality that you're referring to, right? Men who have a certain mentality. You can't be talking about all the men. I know you're not talking about all the men, but the guys that you are referring to personally are guys who come from a certain area, have a certain mentality, and they are the type of people who you grew up around. That's what you're talking about, right? To be more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be more specific. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, coach. Yes, that's what I'll just say. I got triggered by a comment that was made. So I was just had to respond to that. And I know I'm talking so much tonight, but I feel like as long as a woman is taking care of her children, I don't think, and if she's responsible and not letting her mama take care of the babies, like what you were saying earlier, because there are a lot of women out there that's doing their thing and they're taking care of their kids and they never get praises for it. But there's men out there that can judge women just because they have children and
Mhm.
they can talk all kinds of stuff, but they don't see that this woman sometimes she gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
She has to take her kids to school. She has to be the father. She got to be the breadwinner and everything. That doesn't get recognized. That's all people see is, oh, she has. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're trying
There's a
to see
lot of
the
women
part.
that have
This,
no children out there, and you know, there's women out there with no children and they're whores.
see, the problem is you're trying to get recognition from those same type of men that you're complaining about. And I think that's what it is. Like, well, they don't give us the recognition that we
So,
deserve, but these are the same men that you're complaining about. Like, you shouldn't be even be trying to get recognition from some of those type of people. You know what I mean? As I said
I
before,
ain't trying to get recognition. I told you that I don't care about them. I really don't care.
right,
But
right, right.
I'm just trying to see. I just saw something in the comment section, and I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, so Carmen Serene, she said if you have kids with more than one woman, don't even bother saying hello to her. And that's fine. That's fine. This is my thing. Whatever you like, whoever you want to be with them, right? I think if you like me, I think if each individual, you put your energy and focus more into what is it that you want out of life. If you're looking to be with someone, fine. If not, fine. If you're that independent, strong woman, be that independent, strong woman. You shouldn't have to call a man for anything. Don't cry for help for a man for anything. You don't need a man. You the all-encompass independent woman. You know what I mean? If that's how you feel, fine. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. If you like black men, cool, fine. If you don't like them, you feel like black men ain't shit, fine. That's your worldview. That's how it is. So I think why not focus on if you don't like black, be the head, don't mess with them, right? Don't mess with them. Find your white guy. You know what I mean? Find you or any other guy. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You know what I mean? But if that's what you want to be with, fine, do that. But I think you're talking about, and I know you agree with me, but just a certain culture of men that grew up in urban communities. And these guys have a certain mindset. These women have a certain mindset as well. Not just the guys, it's the women as well in these communities. The men who are in these communities, they are not leaders. That is true. That's why you have a lot of the crime that's going on in these cities. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of robbings, rapes, murders. That's what goes on. You know what I mean? So if you see that all day, then that's going to be your worldview of how things are as it relate to men. So that's why I asked you, if you really felt that way about black men, why even be with one? Find you
So what?
a nice white
You're
man,
right.
or
You're right.
you know what I mean?
You're
Just leave
right.
them
I
alone.
think living well. I love black men. I'm with a black man. I love black men. But you are right. Living in New York has it kind of like kind of shaded. It kind of made me feel some type of way. I mean, the environment I'm seeing and working in, it does change my view on a lot of things I see. It does. It does. I'm not even gonna lie to you and say that it doesn't. It does. Maybe if I was living someplace else, I would have a different point of view. So I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what it is, yo. And that's what what I learned. What I learned, like I used to have a negative mindset, right? I'm not saying you do, but I used to have a negative mindset, and um, I think what happened was as I got older, I had a paradigm shift, and this is why I always tell my story all the time, how I grew up, yada yada yada, because I don't view the world at 48 the way I did at 28 or the way I did at 18. I view the world totally differently now. I understand that you have good people in the world, you have bad people in the world. I understand that you have negative and you have positive. I understand that, now my mindset is so different that regardless of what I've been through in my life, hardships I've been through, I understand that, I had the power to change my situation. If I would have made a better choice here or a better choice there, I wouldn't have went through the things that I went through in life. I do understand that my mother, she did the best that she can do. I grew up in a certain environment, the crack era, and I experienced certain things and been through certain things. But now at my age, when I do reflection, I don't blame, like I didn't blame my mother. Why you stayed in this relationship with this man and he was beating your ass all the time? Why you stayed in this relationship? I was terrorized being around this guy, your husband at the time. We stayed in the shelter for battered women and children, right? And never once I heard my mother say that she hated black men ain't shit, yada yada yada. And my mother used to get beat by a black man damn near every day, and we stayed in the shelter for battered women and children. So, if anyone who should have felt that way, it should have been her from what she's been through. We got shot at with a 12 gauge with a double barrel shotgun before by this man. You get what I'm saying? So she never felt that way. Why? I have no idea. And she could have felt that way. But I think she understood that, you know what? I ain't had no business messing with this dude. I chose to be with him, and this is how it turned out. And
also, you have to realize some people deal with pain differently too.
Yeah. I understand that. She, but that was her take. But it could be someone like a Cynthia G, who, if she, I went through the same thing his mama went through, and I be damn, all these niggas, Dusties, I don't like them, and yada yada yada, black man ain't shit, and you black women, y'all need to open up your options. Okay, open up your options. See if there's a sea of other people who want to be with you. You know what I mean? See if there's a sea of a whole bunch of white men. Oh, we're looking for these beautiful black queens in the communities to scoop up and marry. I mean, if that's what's out there, then if that's out there for you, then go for it. That's all I'm saying. But I just think that it's subjective to you, what you've been through. What's going on in these urban communities are true. High crime, women getting hurt, murdered, killed, children. All of that is true. All of that is true. All I'm saying is the worst of those do not represent the best of those. That's all I'm saying. So if that's all you see here, it doesn't mean that, hey, all these black American men is the exact same way. No, the ones that you have been around and what you see in these groups that you are a part of, those men are that way. But there are many others that you don't even hear about. It's like the news. You always gonna hear the bad stuff. And you always see in the areas that you come in, that's what you see. If you remove yourself from those situations, I promise you'll see a whole totally different paradigm. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you remove yourself from, get the hell out of New York, go somewhere else to where it's a nice urban community. I mean, a nice suburban community. And I promise you're going to see black families, men, women, and children together, Hispanics, whites. You're going to see something totally different. But if you're constantly around, that type of negative energy, those type of people, you're constantly around that. Guess what? Then that's what comes with the territory. I hate to say it. You have to remove yourself from that situation. You can't stay in that situation around these people who you can't stand the test because of how they don't, how they act or how they treat black women. You can't complain in one breath, but then stay in the situation. Leave. Get from around there. You get what I'm saying? Look, we gotta go. This shit ain't working. I don't like this New York shit. These men ain't nothing. I don't feel safe with my daughter out in public. Anytime you don't feel safe with your daughter in that city that you're around, it's time to get the hell out of that city. It's time to get the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to get the hell out of it. You know what I mean? Because you have at this point you have to do something about it. You have to change your environment. That's all I'm saying. You have to change your environment because those knuckleheads are out there. They ain't going nowhere. Them same knuckleheads gonna be there. They're gonna be the same dudes who trying to holler at you on the train station. They're gonna be the same dudes that may be trying to rob you. They're gonna be the same dudes that's gonna try to rape you. It's gonna be those same dudes. You got to get the hell away from that. You got to get out of that situation. I don't know why they keep spamming me. You know what I mean? Hey, but Arlette, anything you want to wrap up with? We've been on here for 2 hours.
No. I know. For listening to me, this is kind of like therapy to me too, because I get to express my rage sometimes, because I really can't really say this in public because everybody gonna be like, "What? Mm-hmm. You hate black men?" No, I don't hate black men. I'm just like disappointed, not in black men, just in us in general. Just disappointed.
Yeah, I feel your pain on that. Carmen Serene said that sounds like manipulation tactic, Coach. What is a manipulation tactic? I lived all over the world and I never had a problem attracting men. I don't get what you're saying. I don't get what you're saying, Carmen Serene. What do you mean you never had a problem?
I think he meant when you said the thing about if you feel like white men if you feel like there's white men that wanting you, then go ahead. And if you think you're so different, you can get white men, then go ahead.
or
Am
just,
I
or
right,
just,
Carmen?
or
I
just,
don't want to speak for you, but is
no,
that what you meant? Because I was,
or just
if
any
I
man.
mean, if
No.
Karma,
Karma Serene don't like black men, right? She don't like black men, right? She don't like black. I don't think Karma's black, but she don't like black men. So my thing is, if you
no,
don't like, if you don't like black
I
men,
don't think she's like,
there's nothing wrong with that. Just go be with who you're gonna be with. That's not a manipulation tactic. If you don't like something, go be with that, the opposite of that what you don't like. I mean, I don't see anything that's manipulation about that.
I don't think she's. I know I want to get off the phone, but I mean, I really don't think she. I don't get that vibe from her. I really don't. I really think that Karma. I don't get that vibe from her. I think she seems like she wants. I just don't get that she hates black men. I don't feel that. I
No.
don't get
I
that
mean,
vibe from her.
I think Karma Serene let that be known. I don't know if she hate him, but she says she don't fuck with black men. You know what I mean?
No, but I know, but wait a minute. People say the same thing about me, and I fuck with a black man. But just because I fuck with you, that don't mean I'm gonna worship you and
Yeah, I don't.
yes. I don't put them on a pedestal. I don't really think. I think if Karma finds the right man, and if he's black, I don't think she's gonna say, "Oh, I'm not gonna fuck with you because you're black." I mean, I don't get that vibe from her.
No, she just said right here. She said that's not her preference. So if that's not your preference, there's nothing wrong with that. So my thing is this conversation as it relates to what me and Arlette is talking about, it wouldn't have anything to do with Karma Serene because she don't deal with black men anyways. So I don't know the input that she could probably have as it relates to this particular subject matter. You know what I mean? I mean that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? She said right
No,
here that that's not her preference. So yeah.
Somebody, but preference doesn't mean that you dislike somebody. A preference can mean like Cynthia G made a perfect example. Like if you like vanilla and chocolate ice cream, you like both ice cream. You like vanilla and chocolate, like both of them.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing
you
wrong
like
with that.
chocolate a little better. Like that's to me, that's a preference.
Yeah,
That's a preference.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with her preference. That's all I'm saying. I don't think you get it. There's nothing wrong with her preference. And she preferred not to be with black men. She don't have to be with black men. Period. Like I wouldn't even put energy. I guess what I'm saying is this here. I wouldn't even put energy behind the type of man or woman that I don't like. If that's not my preference, I wouldn't even put energy into that. Stick to your preference. This conversation is pertaining to those who may prefer black men. If you don't stand them, you don't like them, okay, fine, leave them alone. It's 7 billion people on the planet. 7 billion. I don't think no man on the planet Earth is going to be worried about, and I think women outnumber men on the planet, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think any man on the planet Earth, I'm speaking for me, is worried about that one fish that's in the sea. If that fish doesn't like them, like this particular group, there's nothing wrong with that. Go be with the fish that you like. That's fine. I don't think they would probably even, you get what I'm saying? So I just don't put the energy into something that you don't like. If you don't like it, man, fuck it. Just move on and do your thing. And she's doing her thing. You get what I'm saying? She's doing her thing, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. I mean, whatever your preference is or whatever your preference is. I'm not Dr. Phil. I ain't trying to convince nobody to be with who they don't want to be with. All I'm saying is whatever your experiences is, you see the world through your experiences. That's how we are. Whatever you experienced in life, that's your paradigm in life. All I'm saying is if you're in a situation that you don't like, change that situation. Change it. Just change that situation. You're in a situation that you don't like, change it. That's all I'm saying. If you're in a high crime ridden area and you don't feel safe with you and your daughter, why the hell are you there? Mm-hmm. Like, why are you there? You get what I'm saying? Why would you subject yourself and your daughter to that every day? You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. You got to get out of that situation. It's the same situation, same thing with my mother. When my mother used to get beat by my stepfather all the time, and she used to always call my aunt and her brothers to come over, and they'll come over and then she'll be crying and stuff like that, and then she'll always go back to them. And my family used to always say, It came a point where they got tired of my mother calling them. Don't call us no more. We don't been over there 1,000 times. Every time we come over there, you know what I mean? And try to get some straightening. You know, you start taking up for them, and then you go right back to them. Why you keep going back into that situation? And they stopped. And she kept calling. She called, and they didn't come anymore. And that's how we ended up staying with in the shelter for battered women and children. Because our family turned my family turned on my mom. They turned on her, and then my aunt found out that we was homeless, and then I ended up living with my aunt, and that's what happened. So, you know, you like who you like. You know, it is what it is. I don't think no man in this chat or no one's gonna be crying because, you know, it's 7 billion people on the planet, dog. Women outnumber men, however many to one. So I don't think nobody is, you know, we all from point A to point B, we gonna live. You're either gonna be by yourself, be with somebody else, man, woman, whoever, it doesn't matter, and then your ass gonna die. Point A to point B, what you do in between is what matters. So whatever your paradigm is, Arlette, then, you know, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is, you know, it's just that I think you're talking about a certain people who come from a certain environment who have a certain mentality. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So Arlette, thank you so much. Go ahead.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. I'm be back in the chat.
Yeah, but now we're finna wrap the show up. But yeah, go back in the chat. Hey, thank you so much, Arlette. Let's give Arlette a round of applause. Thank you so much, sis. Carmen Serene say no adult should need anyone. Some of y'all want dependents, not a partner. I don't think you understand. Well, you seem like a smart woman. You know, human beings, it's not meant for human beings to be together. Human beings are very social creatures. We all socialize, we all live, and we all, we all socialize with each other. That's just how human beings are. Hell, even, even most of animal kingdom, they do that as well. So if you're that independent, strong woman who don't need a man for nothing, fuck black men, don't care nothing about them, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, Carmen Serene. Do you. I wish you luck. Hope everything work out for you. Continue to be that strong woman, and do your thing. You know what I mean? I don't know your background, you're a feminist or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? But continue to do you. Whatever you believe in, live that to the fullest. You see what I'm saying? Live that to the fullest. Don't worry about black men, though. Don't worry about black men. Calm. Just focus on your people who you want to be around and be with. And I think everything will be fine. Don't even worry about the black men, though. Shout out to Carmen Serene. Shout out to Arlette. Shout out to the one Mr. Ham. Shout out to Con Shinery, Ahmed, Nancy Santiago. Salute. Con Shinery, you hit the nail right on the head. Humans are social first. Yes, yeah, that's human. Yeah, that is the actual human nature of human beings. I think Carmen Serene is probably different though. Shout out to Ben Adams. Shout out to Kuba Curry. Shout out to Deborah Booker who was here. Bless 365. This is a good one. Shout out to Ben Adams, Jay Williams. Salute to Bobby Meadows, Cool Butt Curry, Old Dirty Boxing. Salute to my brother Kane. Shout out to the bot that keep spamming me. Knockdown 305, Major Key Boxing. Shout out to Manny G. Salute to Ben Adams. What's going on, fam? I think we got everybody. Jason Williams, salute to you, fam. Shout out to Big Blunts in boxing. Big Blunts in boxing, boy. Shout out to you, fam. Shout out to you, my brother. Salute to you. Schoolo X-Man. Salute to you, Al the Pal. The one Mr. Ham. I think I said older. Cool Buck Curry. I forgot all about you. Ahmed. Salute to Ahmed, man. And I think that's it. I think we got everybody. Jason Williams, I think we got everybody, man. It is what it is. Ben Adams. Shout out to Ben Adams. Shout out to Ben. Oh, yeah, and salute to Arlette, man. I really appreciate you calling in, Arlette. I really do feel your pain, sis. I really do. I really do feel your pain. I'm dead ass serious. I do feel your pain. And the way you see things, the way you see things. But my advice would be to move out of that environment. You get the hell out of New York City. It's a whole lot of people. It's a whole lot of people who got the hell out of New York and came here. So just get the hell out of New York City, man, and get away from that environment. You know, get away from those type of environments, Arlette, that you're talking about, where the men, where the men are not on point like they supposed to be. Get the hell out of those environments, man. Other than that, that's it. This is our boy, Coach Malachi Williams, man. This is a hell of a show. I really, really appreciate everybody. for showing up. And love who you love, be with who you want to be with, and do you. And I think that's the solution to everything. Okay. Other than that, that's it. Peace. Wrong one.